Well, I think we all just about saw this one coming. The January transfer window might have slammed shut last Thursday evening, but QPR still had a fourth and final acquisition left to make. On Monday, announcing the permanent signing of Danish midfielder Lucas Andersen, whose contract at Aalborg was terminated last week. He was once touted to be the next Christian Eriksen, but like Frey, he's probably not a name many of us were familiar with before being linked to QPR in the transfer window. So today I'm going to be chatting through the Danish midfielder's career so far and what he will be bringing to Queen's Park Rangers. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoy the video. Let's get straight into it. 6'1" midfielder Lucas Andersen was born in Aalborg, Denmark in September 1994. And with 396 matches played, 65 goals scored and 54 assists between 4 European clubs, the winger arrives on English soil with plenty of football experience. He started playing football at Aalborg Freja before moving to Aalborg BK at the age of 10 years old. In September 2008, he caught the attention of Liverpool at just the age of 14, but he wasn't offered a contract. But all was not lost because he was offered his first senior contract the following year by his hometown club, which led to his first international call-ups for Denmark under-16s, playing against Belgium and Germany in 2010. And on the 5th of March 2011, at just 16 years old, he made his first team debut for Aalborg, making him the youngest ever player to play for the side in Denmark's top flight, and the second youngest in the league full stop. He would go on to play a further 10 Superliga matches over the course of the 2010-11 season, and would go on to extend his contract until 2013. By the following season, he was gradually becoming a regular in the side, playing 22 league matches and scoring his first goal in a 1-0 win against Lyngby. He would soon attract interest from clubs all over Europe, including Liverpool again, but it would be Ajax who would make the first move, signing Andersen on the 31st of August 2012 for an undisclosed fee somewhere in the region of €2 million. Still just 18 years old at this point, he would spend the majority of his first 18 months at the club playing for their youth side with 13 goals and assists, whilst also making a select few appearances for the first team. And by 2014-15, he would finally get a proper chance in the first team, making 27 appearances in the league and 6 in the Champions League, producing 5 goals and 4 assists in all competitions. That year would also see him make the first of 7 international appearances for Denmark's senior team. But with a new left winger signed the following summer, the next season would see Andersen go out on loan to fellow Eredivisie side Willem II, where he would make 30 appearances in the league, producing his career best 10 goals and 7 assists, including his first hat-trick against FC Twente. His returns were not enough to keep his loan club up though, and they would be relegated at the end of the season. Things wouldn't quite work out for Andersen at Ajax on the whole, and the following season he would end up being sold to Grasshopper Zurich, where he would make 64 appearances, scoring 11 goals over 2 seasons. By the end of that second season, he would ultimately be struggling for playing time in Switzerland, and this would set up a return to his boyhood club Aalborg, where he would be loaned for the 2018-19 season. That season would see Andersen back on form, scoring 10 goals and making 7 assists in 33 matches. Strong performances that would lead to his boyhood club buying him out of his contract on the 1st of July 2019, signing a new 5-year contract and being named captain of the side. This is where he would remain for the next 4.5 seasons, making 141 appearances and producing 38 goals and assists in all competitions. Unfortunately though, in the second half of the 2020-21 season, he started to grapple with some injury issues, missing the second half of the season with a thigh problem and the vast majority of the 21-22 season with an ACL injury, meaning he would only get a small sample of games to play under Martí Cifuentes, who left for AaB halfway through the season. And although Andersen would return to full fitness in 22-23 and has played a healthy number of games since, his goal contributions have dwindled a little bit since his injuries, but he has remained a key player and club captain throughout. And that brings us to the present, where the mutual termination of his contract at Aalborg last week, due to expire in the summer, paved the way for QPR to sign him on a free contract a few days after the January transfer window closed. And Marty, of course, isn't Andersen's only link to the R's. His agent is Mikkel Beck, who scored 4 goals in 11 appearances on loan at Rangers in the 1999-2000 season. Beck himself seemed to reveal earlier this week the length of Andersen's contract, 18 months, a tweet quickly corrected without the length of the deal included, which was later doubled down on by Christian Nauri, who has said that the club are not going to be revealing the lengths of contracts for new players going forwards. So that's Andersen's career so far. Once a highly rated player who has never quite hit the heights that he was touted to, but one that at 29 years old should still have a lot to offer. So what kind of player is he? Well, he's predominantly a left winger, but he can play on the right and through the middle as well. He's an out-and-out attacker, and unusually for his height, he looks to be a very skillful and tidy player on the ball, manoeuvring out of tight spaces and cutting in and out of defenders. Although he's not the most prolific goal scorer, he can finish very tidily and will hopefully be able to chip in with a couple of much needed goals in this season. He also has a few other tricks up his sleeve. For one, joining Paul Smith on the long throwing antics. But one of the things I'm most excited about is that he looks to be a dead ball specialist. Our delivery from corners and free kicks is woeful, and he looks to have scored some fantastic free kicks during his career, so I'm really hoping he can resolve that flaw in our system. Now, as I mentioned, his goal contributions have waned a little bit since his injuries, but he does still look really handy on the ball, so hopefully he's managed to put those issues behind him now. To me, he's never looked like a super pacey winger, so I don't think those injuries will have affected him too much in that regard. The biggest challenge, in my opinion, is that he's never played football in England before. And not only that, but his first experience of doing so is going to be coming into a relegation battle, which is quite a baptism of fire when you're coming to play football in a new country. So we've really got hope that he does hit the ground running and that Marty uses him in the right way. And that's the part that I'm most interested in, to be honest. Because as Aalborg's number 10, it looks like he was allowed to float freely. So the question will be whether he's deployed on the wing or as a number 10 for QPR. And depending on the answer to that, whose place does he take? My instinct is I think he might come in place of Lyndon Dykes. Marty has tried Chair down the middle once or twice, but he doesn't seem to be too keen on that. So I think he'll keep him out on the left wing. But if he does play in the middle, then the question is where Hodge fits in. But that is a nice problem to have, because we actually have a few options now rather than trying to scrape together a semi-decent starting 11. Hopefully we get to see him in action against Norwich this weekend and we start to get some answers to these questions. Thank you so much for watching. What do you think of this signing? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Again, if you've enjoyed the video, I really would appreciate if you like and subscribe. I've now put out videos for all of our January signings, so if you're interested in finding out more about our other free acquisitions, then do check those out on my channel. And I'll see you next time. Cheers!